Good evening and welcome. Our program will begin shortly.
future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
Look, crypto is a new technology. It's tough to wrap one's head around. Crypto technology is fundamentally a new way to store and transmit anything of value. Everyone stands to benefit from this.
Welcome to Huntington, a bank that believes we should all get more from money, like a path to turn late nights into beach days, and a nudge when you've got enough for the GOAT. Go for it, Daryl. Let's get more from money. Huntington Bank.
There was a tree down in the woods, the prettiest tree that you ever did see. Now the tree has roots that need water to grow jobs, grow skills, make the whole world go. Oh, make the green grass grow all around, make the green grass grow all around.
At JP Morgan Chase, the investments we make help make businesses happen, that make jobs happen, that make communities happen. Together, we make momentum happen.
Hey, your voice is amazing. Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me, what will I find?
You're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking.
With Operation Hope and U.S. Bank, I feel like the mission is aligned as far as what we're trying to accomplish, which is to make sure that each and every customer gets our full attention. Based on what we discover on a daily basis, that's where we get a chance to kind of integrate Miracle, our Operation Hope coach, into the mix as well, too.
And that's why this partnership between U.S. Bank and Operation Hope is so special. They have somewhere that they can go, that they can receive financial literacy support, giving them the tools and the knowledge as to how to utilize the money that they have. I'm definitely proud to just be doing the work and proud of the work that's been done by my clients as well. Oh, Mr. Ronnie, if I may call him that. Wonderful client, big heart, devoted father and husband. With the help of Operation Hope and U.S. Bank, he has reached unbelievable heights. He did what needed to be done, and now he's thriving, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Not only did Miracle walk me through, what I needed to do and help me with my credit, but she also referred me to Mr. Will at U.S. Bank and said that he was a great mentor and he could really help me in ways that she couldn't help me.
I get up every day and I get to change someone's trajectory through conversations. It's really, what is your end game? And understanding what that end game is, I get to assess where they are and then provide them the roadmap to actually getting there. I mean, this is hard work, not hard work. And I get up every day and I'm excited about it.
It's a monumental moment for me because I'm in my own community and I'm helping my community build financial stability.
Operation Hope's first office and first launch of a partnership in New Mexico is incredible.
If you have access to the bank and you need help or you start to get in financial distress, we are there to help you, and we are there with the Hope Centers to help you.
I am very grateful for all of you for participating in this.
I feel like it's very important because financial stability, financial literacy is the backbone of success.
Live from the Signia by Hilton in Atlanta,
Welcome, everyone, as we celebrate 11 years of innovation, collaboration, and impact. Bringing together global leaders, industry innovators, and change makers that have helped reimagine our global economy. But now, we look forward to fully realizing our potential, empowering our communities, and together, shaping the future. Welcome to the 2025 Hope Global Forum's annual meeting. Please welcome Operation Hope President of Program Operations, Lance Triggs.
Y'all can do better than that? Can you do better than that? How's everybody doing? Good evening, Atlanta. Welcome to the opening night of the 2025 Hope Global Forum Future Proof. You feeling okay tonight? Oh, come on now. You know how we do it every year. Let me ask some of you, how many of you with a joyful sound have come to the Hope Global Forum for at least 5 years or more? Can we hear a shout out? All right, all right. How many for 2 years or more? All right, we got family up in here. How many are here for the first time this year? I am so excited to have you here. It's going to be an incredible 3 days for each and every one of you. We have been doing this, the Global Forum, for 11 years, but we've been doing forums and summits for about 20 years now. And we want to just thank all of you for taking time out of your busy day to be with us this evening and over the next couple of days. Now, please understand, this costs money to put on this great production. And in doing so, we rely on some of our great sponsors and partners that make it all possible for us to put on an excellent show for each and every one of you. And so I want to call out some of our premier sponsors, some who are here for the first time, like Cisco. Let's give Cisco a round of applause. Oh boy, got Cisco in the house. We also got Morgan Stanley in the house. Let's give them a round of applause. We also have JP Morgan Chase. Let's give them a round of applause. That's right. And we also have Huntington Bank, who you're going to hear from in a second. A round of applause. Give them one. Thank you. Thank you. And I know we got the Stagecoach in the house. Where's Wells Fargo at? I see you over there. We got Jenny and Nadia and Michael and others are just there, to Krista, been supportive of the Global Forum really from day one. And so we thank you for your continuous support. We have 40 Hope Inside locations with Wells Fargo, about to grow it to 50. Let's give them a round of applause. That's a real commitment to the communities that we're serving, and we cannot do it without you supporting Operation Hope and our coaches. And I know we have Credit One Bank here, right? Credit One Bank, we're going to have our first Hope Inside with them in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're very proud of that. And then we also have Coinbase in the house. Let's hear it from Coinbase. And then we also have the National Crypto Association here. And last but not least, you know what kind of rain we like around here, right? Do we have Purple Rain up in the house? That's what I'm talking about. I want to thank Yalan and Bahari and Lisa for your continuous support, and the entire Truist team, the volunteers that they provide year over year. You know, with Truist, we have 35 Hope Inside locations supporting 800 bank branches around the country. Let's give them a round of applause for that, showing their commitment. Also, they're part of our Hope Corps volunteer program, supporting our businesses around the country as well. So we thank all of our sponsors for being here with us and giving us this support. And we're just very thankful that all of you are taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. So we're about ready to get the show on the road. But before we do so, we have another close friend of Operation Hope, and it's also part of our 1 Million Black Business Initiative representing New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. we have Mr. Jamal Bryant, who's going to give us the invocation. Let's give Pastor Bryant a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. What an incredible serendipitous moment we are in, that today marks the 70th anniversary of Rosa Parks not giving up her seat. It began not just a civil rights chapter, but a civil rights impact. And 70 years later, we still understand the power of economics. To that end, let's go to our God in prayer. All heads are bowed, all eyes are closed. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, you are the one who has brought us thus far along the way. We pray that you will guide our feet while we run this race. Strengthen our hands so that we can pull somebody up. Show us how it is that we can use our resources as tools and not as weapons. Help us to curate a better world where children will be able to breathe free and to be able to read, where our seniors will be able to sustain and our veterans will feel safe. We pray, dear Lord, that you will make us your ambassadors and not your mercenaries. I pray, dear Lord, that you will turn our tribes into community and our villages into family. Anoint our heads with oil so other people's cups will be able to run over. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Bryant. All right, you ready to get the show on the road? You look like you're tired already. We haven't got started. You ready to get the show on the road? Let me hear you. All right. Well, thank you. Well, I am pleased to announce now you're going to hear me throughout my time here with you introducing a lot of brothers from another mother and sisters from another missus. And that's because they're the people that have been very important to the life of Hope have taken time out of their busy schedule to be with us and to join us. And so one of those is going to serve as our masters of ceremony this evening. And I want you to give her a round of applause when it comes to the Hope Global round of applause to a stage and local broadcast legend, the great Miss Karen Greer, my sister from another mistress. Give her some love, y'all.
Good evening, everyone. Don't you look fabulous? Great to see you out here. Hello. Wow. This has grown to a marvelous event. We have an amazing evening planned for you tonight. So I hope you are ready. And don't leave early because we have Grammy-nominated performer, the one and only Miss Deborah Cox, here to perform for us later this evening. And we've got some other stars here waiting for you tonight as well. So let's get you started. Hard to agree on a lot of things these days. One thing we share is the need for a safe, affordable place to live, maybe even a wonderful place to own someday. Owning a home is still the #1 way many Americans build wealth for themselves and for their families. I'm pleased to introduce our next guest, who's at the forefront of all things housing, so important as we move into the holidays. Please give a big Hope Global Forum's welcome to the CEO of Zillow Group, Mr. Jeremy Waxman, and founder of Macro Talk and senior business correspondent for Axios, Hope King.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Big day for you. Sweet 16. Today
Oh,
is the
yes.
16th anniversary of you
Yeah.
actually joining Zillow.
Yeah, small world. Today, December 1st, 16 years ago, 2009, is when I joined Zillow. So a lot has happened in that time.
And in a couple of months, Zillow will be celebrating 20 years as a public-facing service, which is a long time to be overlooking the housing market. And I think a lot of us use Zillow. We use it as a lens, whether it's to look for housing for ourselves or maybe to stalk our exes. I'm not saying that I do that, but maybe sometimes I might. But for those who are less familiar with the core engines of Zillow, would you go through some of the businesses that actually power Zillow underneath?
Absolutely. So hopefully there's a lot of Zillow fans in the audience who use the app.
There you go.
Great to hear. There's more than 100 million people that come to our website or our apps every month. There obviously aren't 100 million people that move every month, right? So many people are doing what Hope is doing and dreaming or stalking or shopping or thinking about it someday. And that is a fantastic service for all. And then there's a few million people that actually are going to move. They're going to rent their next place. They're going to buy their next place. They're going to list their home to sell. And our business is actually helping those folks find professionals. So many folks may already have a real estate agent, but many more don't. First-time home buyers often don't. Renters who are trying to buy don't. And so we help connect people with agents everywhere in the country, or with property managers, or with loan officers to help them get started. And that's the business. Mm-hmm. So we love everyone using Zillow for any purpose. And when you're ready, we're ready for you.
So we're going to get into the big macro picture of housing in the U.S. a little bit later on, but I wanted to at least start our conversation to ground the conversation in giving the background, and especially over the past 2 decades, how has Zillow evolved alongside of the housing market over the past 2 decades? And you've seen so much of those 2 decades.
I mean, the big evolution really in all of our technology services is the smartphone we all use. When Zillow was founded, when I joined Zillow, there was no iPhone, right? There was no app store. And so the internet was really the way we all got information, however we could get it. And that's what led to the founding of Zillow. Zillow was founded because the co-founders couldn't find real estate information online. You had to go to a brokerage office. You had to maybe use a book to see what was for sale or what things had sold for. And they thought, well, there has to be a better way to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's how they built Zillow. But like you said, 20 years has gone by. The smartphone has come. We expect all these apps to just work and give us the information on our phone in our pocket 24/7. Now AI is coming and is going to be a technology revolution. And Zillow's business has evolved with that. And so as we talked about, we're not just about helping you look for what's for sale. It's, can we help you find the best agent? Can we get you pre-approved for a mortgage? Can we help you figure out how to list your home? And that's really where the industry is headed. It's headed towards technology doing more of the work for all of us to make it easier to do.
Yeah, as a journalist, I love that Zillow has so much data. I mean, your lens is so wide. So I would love to now kind of switch to the big macro picture. Based on the data that you're seeing on Zillow's platform, what is it telling you about the housing market right now? And what is that revealing about the economy?
Yeah, the big picture is the housing market is lousy, but like less lousy than last year. That's like the short answer. And what I mean by that is, as you all know, it's an incredibly challenged housing market. Affordability, I mean, we would really call it an affordability crisis. Mm-hmm. Mortgage rates have gone up a lot. That's part of the story, but it's really home prices have gone up so much over the past few years that it makes it very hard for a renter to be a first-time buyer, to be able to afford what's for sale in many, many markets. So it is getting incrementally better this year versus last year versus the year before, but we have a long way to go to get back to a more normal housing market.
We were talking backstage about time and how it's very difficult for many of us to remember what it was like living pre-pandemic in the U.S. with, a much more normalized, I think, cadence of a lot of things. I'm wondering how much of what we're seeing today is still a hangover from the pandemic, which threw markets into really disarray. Stocks were scattered, but also just our way of living and also the economy and for housing. So how much of this is really comparing it to the craziness that we saw during the pandemic, and how much of it is here to stay?
I think, unfortunately, some of it's here to stay, but it's just time is going to help catch up. So I'll give you a stat as an example. Home prices on average are up almost 100% today versus before the pandemic. Obviously, our wages and income is not up 100%, right? So that's why it's less affordable generally. Atlanta is a great example. There was a period in Atlanta where home prices went up 25% in 1 year through that pandemic. And that is a crazy run-up in appreciation. So that's why we are still dealing with really the hangover of affordability. And what's driving that now is lack of supply. So really, for the last 15 plus years since the global financial crisis, 2008, 2009, we as a country have not built enough housing. And so we've accumulated this deficit of, Zillow estimates, about 5 million homes that we should have been building if we were building at the same rate of household formation. And so what that means is when anyone wants to come and buy, there's less available than there should be. And so that's what pushes prices up, and that's what keeps things so unaffordable.
And does your data show that there will be maybe an improvement in the situation? What can we expect based on what you've seen?
Yeah, the maybe counterintuitive thing is everyone just looks at mortgage rates and says, oh, when mortgage rates come down, the housing market will get more affordable. It's not directly that, but when mortgage rates come down, many sellers who are sitting on a very low mortgage rate and waiting to move will finally decide to sell and will bring more inventory online. And that will start to solve the supply problem, which will then make things more affordable, which will then make buyers come into the market at a higher rate.
There's a term going around right now, job hugging, where people are holding on to their jobs, like house hugging.
Yeah, people are mortgage hugging.
Yeah,
yes.
People are mortgage hugging.
For sure.
I talked a lot about the data that you have. You have this infrastructure into so many aspects of the housing market, but what role specifically are you playing in the ecosystem right now?
Yeah, so when you're in a market like this, we are a technology company. We love to just build the software you use, the software your agent uses, that your loan officer uses, but we also have to advocate for policies that help solve these problems. So we spend a lot of time lobbying for zoning and permitting reform to get building online. We spend a lot of time working on making sure access to information for all the buyers, sellers, and renters out there remains available on the internet, because that's not something that is assured. So we spend a lot of time on the policy side of things, not just on the technology side of things as a company.
And just say a little bit more about why it's so important for the company to take this position on top of all the things that you do day to day.
I mean, the big reason is it's what our buyers, sellers, and renters want. One of the things I love so much about working at Zillow is we wake up every day and think about how can we innovate for a first-time home buyer, for a renter making a decision whether they want to rent or buy, or for a seller. And when we do that, that's what lets us build the product that you hopefully all love as a user, that I love using. But it also has us look at the things, well, how do we make it available so people can buy? And that can be things like access to information, right? When Zillow was founded, you couldn't get access to information online. And we really helped turn on the lights for the entire industry to say, okay, listings should be available on all these platforms. And we all in this room, I think, probably take that for granted as the way the industry works. But you can't take it for granted. There are companies that want to take information back offline and make it harder for buyers and sellers to get access to information.
So let's drill down a little bit deeper into this, because these two challenges of affordability and accessibility are making it really difficult for people to find a home that they can afford. Yep. Your mission spans renters and buyers and sellers and agents. You know, you talked about all of the stakeholders. As a technology company, how do you balance the innovation that serves so many different types of stakeholders?
I mean, for us, we feel like it's easy because we know who we build for first. So if you put the buyer or the seller in the room with you, and we do that every day at Zillow, you try and solve the problem they're having, and then everyone else in the market exists to serve them. And so a great example of that is we build a lot of software for real estate agents. If any of you have worked with a real estate agent, they're probably using Zillow software. And they may not show it to you, but they're using it to manage the showings on your listing, or they're using it to manage their conversations that they're having with their clients. But we do all that in service of the buyers they're talking to or the sellers they're talking to. And so that really lets us be clear-eyed on how we build something, because it's like if it's not solving a problem that our users are asking for, then it's not worth our time, or it's maybe not the right thing to build.
And your users, again, span every single aspect of the housing market, and it touches so much. Regulation, like you said, and policy, even access to credit. What other modernizations outside of what you are doing specifically at Zillow do you think would make it easier for everyone in this room, outside of this room, to find housing, to have more equitable access?
I mean, part of what we love about what this organization is doing writ large is financial education and empowerment is a huge part of that. So many people are making these decisions or trying to figure out how to make these decisions, and they don't know where to go. And so education is one of the biggest things we can all do. And I'll give a Zillow example and a non-Zillow example. For our renters, we have the largest rental network in the country. We have more rentals than anyone, and we are trying to create a reusable, portable application that you can use on more and more of them. And we have that now. So renters can come to Zillow, they can pay an application fee once, they can pull credit and build that application once, and they can apply to multiple places. And so that's great for the renter. Of course, you can kind of understand as a renter. It's also great for the landlord, because now this landlord, this individual small business owner, can compete with the big property managers for those renters. They have a more modern digital tool to use because they aren't building software systems the way their competitors are. So that's a great example of like the education that the renter gets actually benefits the landlord as well.
Yeah, and that's a great, I think, flywheel for people who are in the mix of trying to find a home and they're frustrated, and it takes a lot of time to fill out the paperwork, and it's not standardized.
No.
So
there's no class to tell anyone whether they should rent or buy and how they should make that decision. And everyone has to do it on their own, and everyone ultimately needs tools to help them make that decision.
Let's turn to another part of your business, which is helping the agents and property managers. Real estate is a relationship business at the end of the day. These are small business owners, they're entrepreneurs. What is your role right now, Zillow's role, in supporting this ecosystem?
Real estate agents are some of the hardest working small business professionals I've ever encountered, and our job is to make their job easier.
Yeah, you can clap.
And it's true. They work incredibly hard, and they are basically running their business on their own. And so our job is to give them the software and tools to make their job easier, and to help hand them customers that are ready to transact to make them more efficient. And I'll give you a couple examples of how we do that. We provide software that they use to run the front office of their business. We provide software they use to run their clients' listings and relationship management. And part of why we do that is because that's what our buyers and sellers want. One of my favorite stats about this industry that I tell my family that they're always surprised by is the percentage of buyers that say they want to hire a real estate professional is higher now than it was when Zillow was founded.
Wow.
And you would think, oh, technology, it's coming, it can automate, I can do more myself. Doesn't that mean it? And not in this category. In this category, data and technology overwhelms us all. And you're only doing this once a decade, and it's the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. So you definitely want help. And it turns out every generation wants help and wants help more. Now, what help is has changed, right? Before Zillow, a professional was an arbiter of information. They had a book of stuff you didn't have. So you were hiring them for access. Well, that's gone, right? We all have access to the same amount of stuff. So now you get to hire the best professional. You get to hire a negotiator. You get to hire a local market expert. You get to hire a consultant. Many times they're a therapist, right? And so it elevates the profession. It allows people to compete and show what they do best.
Yeah, it sounds like while you have this huge flood of information that everyone can access now, because it is too much, the need for help hasn't gone away.
It has gone up.
It has gone up. So as you look at Zillow and as it continues to evolve, how do you think you'll continue to support agents in the way that, technology will enable with AI, which we'll talk about a little bit later on?
I think that's going to continue. So AI, I'm sure, will be talked about a lot over the next few days. In real estate, it's just going to supercharge that trend we're on, right? AI has the potential to make a team of real estate agents even more efficient. It has the potential to overwhelm a buyer. You can ask these chat interfaces anything now, and you don't know if the answer you're getting back is right or wrong. And we'll train the models to do a better job, but it's going to I bet you that percentage question will be even higher 5 years from now, because people will want help to demystify it all even more than they do now.
So to be specific, how do you see Zillow's relationship with agents evolving?
I think we're going to strengthen and deepen our relationship with agents, and I think what you'll see is agents will naturally get better at using the technology that's coming because they're going to have to. Like, we are all going to have to learn how to use these technologies as users, as business professionals, and if our job is to help small business owners in our category, we're going to have to help them get ready for that.
Can you point to one or two ways that technology can level the playing field for everybody? Because a lot of times people do need capital to begin their journey as an agent, to start to list properties or to have these relationships. How do you see technology playing that role of leveling the playing field?
Yeah, I'll give you a great example. So we have a product. If many of you haven't used it before, you should go find one. We create these, I kind of call them super listings. They're virtual tours. We call them showcase listings, but they let you walk through the house It's all created with photography that any real estate photographer is using. And we use generative AI to stitch it together and create a walkthrough. Well, now, we don't just do that inside the house, we do that outside the house. You can go to one and fly around the house like you're a drone. That's created from simple drone photography. So that allows any photographer, whether they are just starting out or they have a big business or they have expensive photography, to compete with some of the best technology that's out there. That allows any real estate agent, an agent that's just won their first listing and doesn't have a great system in place to manage lots of listings, to compete and to showcase their listings. So it's a great way of democratizing the access to technology, whether you have a big staff or a big budget or you're just starting out.
Yeah, I don't think many people knew that you could do that, because I think a lot of us look at like a Matterport or something and we think that you need to hire somebody also to help. I tease this, like I know we are all maybe a little bit tired of talking about AI, generic AI. So I really want you to be specific with me in this next section, which is where you see it actually measurably improving the experience for home buying, for finding somebody, for finding homes.
Yeah, I think you'll see it show up in the cracks of all the things you're already doing, is kind of the way I think about it. Of course, AI is something we go to ChatGPT or we go to Google Gemini and we ask it questions in new ways. We're all going to do that. Hopefully, it will answer more questions than we can answer today. But it already exists in generating the listings I talked about. It exists in the agent software that all of our agents are using. We have more than 100,000 agents that use our agent software. It's a software system called Follow Up Boss. No one who's not a real estate agent would ever know that software system. But 100,000 agents every month are using it to respond to clients. It summarizes every one of their calls now. It summarizes their history so they don't forget things. It reminds them of appointments and it schedules appointments for them. So it's making them more efficient. It's making them do a better job, because who wants to spend their day on a checklist? They want to spend their day consulting with clients, doing research for clients, helping clients prepare offers. So that's live today. And many buyers, sellers, renters would never see it, but it's powering the real estate experience right now.
And I imagine that as this improves, this is what you talked about earlier, which is you see the relationship between Zillow, the platform, and the agents getting closer and closer, strengthening that through technology.
If you ask any real estate agent, do they want to spend their time on a checklist in software? Or do they want to spend their time talking to their customers, learning what they want, trying to win an offer, trying to win a negotiation? They're going to pick the latter, right? Every one of them. So if we can build software that does the former, that does the busy work, they get to do the people work.
So with AI, there's also concern about the algorithms. Is it biased? Is the data clean?
Yeah.
When you're building these tools and you're using these tools in your platform, how are you ensuring that this is all being done fairly, equitably?
It's really important to build AI responsibly. I would make that statement broadly, but I'll definitely make that statement for real estate. And we've learned that in working with a lot of the big players in AI from the beginning. Early on, we worked with OpenAI and Google on integrations and helping them answer real estate questions to show them how quickly you could ask an LLM a question that would answer with a fair housing violation. It would answer with something that just violates fair housing laws because it hadn't been trained. And so we built a trainer, effectively, a fair housing classifier that we use, that we give to everyone to use. It's open source. So you can train a model to say, I can't answer that question, or here's the only way I can answer that question, to help make sure the technology does the right thing. It's just like a simple example of how, as you develop these tools that are moving so fast, that yes, we need to have a little bit of regulation. We need to make sure we can build responsibly, but we have to do it so that we can keep innovating, and you have to balance those things.
Well, one thing that you've said in the past, which I think is the through line through all this, is that when you stay focused on the consumer, the path forward becomes clear. For consumers who are confused about AI and they're worried about it, what message do you have for them, especially in the home buying process?
I mean, I think the big thing is, well, one, ask for help. Again, one of the things we really benefit from in real estate is we have great professionals. And they're ready to answer questions. And so, to me, the technology, it will help us all use Zillow more, but then it will help us all want to get help, I think, more. And I think that's the first thing you would say to anyone who is nervous or demystified. It's great that you have these technology tools that you can ask anything, anytime, anywhere, but then you're gonna want someone to make sure, you're gonna wanna find a professional to validate.
But what else are they asking for right now, consumers?
I mean, they're also asking for more digitized integrated experiences. So if you pull out your phone and you look at all the categories of apps on your phone, most of them work like a one-stop shop, right? You can summon an Uber, you can book an Airbnb, you can book a restaurant on OpenTable. You can't buy a real estate house. You can't buy a house that way. You can't even get your next rental that way. And the reason for that is because you have to hire multiple people, and then you have to negotiate with a seller who's hiring multiple people. And coordinating all that, and by the way, all 50 states do it differently, is the real estate industry. And that's why when we ask buyers and sellers to describe the real estate process, half of them say they cry during the process, which is one of my, I wouldn't say favorite stats because it's horrifying, but it's a memorable stat that we talk about a lot at Zillow. That's why. Once you click the I want to go button, it becomes a part-time job. And that's why agents are therapists and project managers and coordinators. So technology has the ability to solve that problem, right? And AI definitely has the ability to help solve that problem. And I think that's where we're headed.
It's a bit of a horrifying statistic if you really think about it.
Yes, it is.
People crying. We're coming toward the end of our conversation, and I wanted to do some fun lightning round questions with you before we end things. First question, what is the most overlooked housing market in the U.S. and why?
Ooh, overlooked is a tough one. I will say like what wouldn't be on your bingo card would be some of our hottest housing markets are like Buffalo, New York, and Hartford, Connecticut. I don't think if you ask anyone to describe a hot real estate market, that's where they pick. And it's because those are cities that have really strong job growth, and so their economies are growing, relatively affordable real estate prices, and then therefore a lot of buyer demand. And you saw a lot of flight during COVID to certain markets, and I think you're seeing a retrenching around kind of regional secondary cities that have still vibrant economies.
That's great to hear. Hartford?
Hartford and Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
What trends are on their way out? Housing trends, amenities, paint styles, anything that you can share with us so that we don't make these mistakes at home?
Yeah, I think what's out is also the other side of what's in, which is a more inflation-savvy buyer. We're going to, I think, release some 2026 data soon that talks a lot about this, that's people are looking for where can they store their bulk-bought goods and how do they retrofit their garage to do that. They're looking for energy efficiency. And so batteries and solar all of a sudden are a cost-saving measure. If you think about in-home amenities, it's like out our man caves and in our like home gyms and recreational spaces like golf simulators. That's in some ways inflation hedging because it's like I'm going to spend my time, I want to do it at home, and I want to do it cost effectively. So that's a bit of a reflection of I think the psyche of a home buyer right now is knowing inflation is real and how can I take account for that as I think about a home.
That's great insight. No more man caves. You heard it here first. I don't know about she sheds. Are she sheds still available and popular?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check on that one.
Okay, other ones that I have found, juice stations, marble sinks, those mentions are down, according to your stats. Barn doors also down, which I thought was a little bit fun. Last question in this lightning round. What are some of the hottest home trends? I know you kind of touched on them being inflation-proof, but anything else that we should be thinking about as, Cyber Monday is today and we're all on Amazon?
I mean, I'm going to go more to the financial side versus the kind of fun economic side, but I think demystifying affordability has actually become a bigger trend. One of my favorite stats is when I started at Zillow 16 years ago, we did a survey about we showed how much more time people would spend shopping for anything else than a mortgage. And it was like they would spend more time shopping for shoes than shopping for a mortgage, even though shopping for a mortgage is actually how you save hundreds of thousands of dollars over 30 years. And at the time, we couldn't get anyone on Zillow to start down the financing path. And hey, let's talk to you about financing. Well, you fast forward to today, half of all buyers on Zillow will start with a what can I afford question versus a I want to go find a home to buy question. That is an incredible rebalancing. And granted, it's over 16 years, but I think what's going to continue is people trying to make sure they can afford it and asking how can they afford it and learning about down payment assistance, learning what their true cost of affordability is. That trend is up and up and up. And I think even with everything we talked about earlier, that trend is not going away.
Well, I don't want to leave this conversation on a down note. I mean, there's so many cards stacked against the folks who are still looking for homes and ones that are affordable. What gives you optimism at this moment when you look around and, again, you see the data that things might turn around?
What gives me optimism is that people can get it done and people are getting it done. So we talk a lot about how the housing market is relative to before and how hard it is. And that is all true. On the flip side, 4 million homes were bought and sold last year. 6 million is maybe the normal, but that means almost 8 million people did that last year. And the demand is still there. It's like a coiled spring. The buyer demand across all demographics to want to be a first-time home buyer is there. And the seller demand to move is there. People, as you said, they're kind of hugging their mortgage right now. And so as things stabilize, you're going to see more people be able to afford, and you're going to see more people choose to move. And so you're going to see more transactions happen over time. So that's what gives me optimism. It's like, it's just a big coiled spring of demand that's going to uncoil at some point.
And so how long will it take to uncoil? I know.
If I could answer that question, I'd have a different job.
Well, I do have to ask you this one last one, which is forward-looking. In 5 years, if we're back on the stage together, lucky enough to be with all of you, what do you think we'll be talking about then?
I think we're going to be talking about a lot less tiers in the transaction. I think Gen AI will have digitized more of the transaction. This idea of a one-stop shop that I pitched you all, hope we will be a lot closer to it. You will have professionals who are AI trained and enabled and helping anticipate your needs, and they will be more efficient and making more money for themselves at the same time. So I think technology is going to unlock a lot of efficiency and gains, and that should show up as cost savings for the customer, for the buyer and the seller and the renter that we're spending every day on.
And specifically, what do you hope Zillow will have done in that 5 year period?
I hope we've built that system. I hope we have delivered this more integrated experience so that you can shop and all the way purchase on your phone with your partners and get it all done from your smartphone.
I love it. We'll do a word count of how many times you said hope here on stage. Hope and Hope Conference. Thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you all.
Enjoy dinner. Thank you, Jeremy.
Since I was a kid, all I've ever focused on was art. Eventually, I started drawing clothes and shoes, and that just opened up a door of opportunity and imagination for me.
Operation Hope Small Business Coaches empower the community by helping entrepreneurs create business plans, strategize their futures, and also develop any new ideas.
Customers are appreciative of Wells Fargo's investment in financial education through Hope Inside. They aren't learning this in schools. They aren't having these conversations in their households. We're able to help them by having these conversations in person, understand what's on their mind and how we can help.
ISCAL stands for Imaginative Souls Curious About Life. It's an abbreviation of my name, so my full name is India Simone Callahan, but it's also made to represent basically the weird, the different, those who stand out. We create streetwear. We have our basic casual streetwear and our luxury streetwear pieces. We also have accessories that we're building on and trying to expand.
When India came to me, it was important for us to create strategy, to work on her e-commerce, to have brand development conversations, and then also to have conversations about access to funding.
Raymond has been able to help me with really streamlining and focusing my ideas. He's also helped me build out a beautiful business plan that I can utilize to get funding for my business, which has been our biggest barrier over the past 8 years since we've actually opened. He's also helped me network and connect with other people, which has been really, really great.
People hear Wells Fargo and they know that this is a reputable bank that's available across the country. And I think that having us as small business experts inside of the Wells Fargo offices is an additional resource that Wells Fargo is providing to their community.
Customers are really excited about the knowledge that they're getting. Things that they didn't know coming from a professional that has their best interest in mind and at heart.
I believe the future holds ISCAL being the staple print for futuristic fashion, just really giving us the opportunity to spread our wings, basically becoming a household name.
All I see for India is expansion. Having her be a staple of the community, I think that's kind of where it's headed right now.
That's why I wanted to build my business, just to not only create generational wealth for myself and for my family, but for the next generation.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy and Hope. Were they not fabulous? Give them a big round of applause. Are you enjoying yourselves so far? We're just getting started. I see everybody. Ambassador Young, I see you here. Carolyn Young, hello, hello. Everybody here, let's give them a big round of applause tonight. We're going to keep this program moving for you now. Next up, please help me welcome to the stage the Senior Executive Vice President and Head of Financial Inclusion and Opportunity for Wells Fargo, Christy Fairco, and the Founder, Chairman, and CEO of Operation Hope. I think you need to stand up for him. Mr. John Hope Bryant.
Hello, Atlanta! Oh, no, 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 no. The Bible suggests be hot or be cold. If you're lukewarm, I'll spat you out. Translation, even God is not like mediocrity. You're gonna do it with both feet. This is your time. Good evening, Atlanta. Tell you what, this is, I'm so excited, and I'm gonna give you a real treat by introducing you to this special woman. In a moment, I had a little bit of rock star moment. We were backstage, Christy and I were backstage, and I said, is that Ronnie DeVoe from New Edition? Mm-hmm. So somewhere around here, you got Bill Duke, you got all kind of heroes and sheroes walking through, but Mr. Ronnie DeVoe of New Edition is here to show his love. We appreciate him. Yeah. So this is a serious conversation. Rainbows only follow storms. You cannot have a rainbow without a storm first. At least 300,000 black women lost their job this year alone. I had to recheck the stat because that number to me was unbelievable. It wasn't 30,000, wasn't 3,000, it was 300,000 plus. And they will rise, and they will reinvent, and they will reimagine. Yes. Yes. And they will overcome. We've been doing so much with so little for so long, we can almost do anything with nothing. So when you see Christy walk out on this stage from Compton,
straight out.
And we tell you that in May, she got a promotion at a $2 trillion bank to the operating committee. She is the highest ranking black female at Wells Fargo. There's so many seniors in front of her, executive vice president, you run out of room on the page. In charge of now inclusion.
Financial inclusion.
Financial inclusion and
opportunity.
And opportunity, which has got, that's me written all over it. Yep. She is one of less than 20 members of the operating committee. Is it 20?
15.
15 of a $2 trillion bank, which makes it one of the top 10 banks easily in the world. Probably top 6, 5 if you take the Chinese state-owned banks out of the mix. $2 trillion is huge. Before that, she was the only black female ever to become CEO of a major mortgage company. She ran Wells Fargo Mortgage Company. So I see you in this moment in time as a signal bearer. I see you as a signal strength. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to scream and holler. In fact, in order to be your job, you have to just do the opposite. Be elegant and smooth. We need to understand, as we talk about future-proofing, we need to understand the how, not just the what. I'm going to ask you guys in the back, I'm not trying to police anybody, but this is a very important conversation. You're not going to get anyplace else. You're not going to meet another person like this. So just tell whoever's next to you, just for a minute, just listen to what she has to say. I think this is a really important conversation about how to navigate. How did you do this? Let's rewind the tape a little bit, and I want to give Charlie Scharf, my friend, the CEO, some credit, because he didn't have to do this. For giving you this promotion that you've earned, but he acknowledged and saw your talent. So let's rewind a bit about how you got here and whose you are, not just who you are, because you didn't do this by yourself.
No. Well, first of all, hello, everybody. It is great to be with you and always with you, my friend.
By the way, I like that.
Well, this is whose I am. So we could start right there, right? And, in corporate America, I have had people ask me not to wear this. And
it's a cross if you can't see it.
And I have said this is whose I am. It is, with him, nothing is possible. And I think I am here because of the grace of God and the favor of God. So I'm very clear about that. But, you talked about Compton. I was born in Compton, California. My father was the track coach at Compton High and got the opportunity to go to the University of Arizona.
By the way, we're both from Compton.
We are both from Compton, exactly. He tried to compare zip codes with me when we first met.
Yes,
are you really from Compton?
No. So now that you want to go there, now that you want to go there, she was from the bougie part of Compton.
No. Wait, is there a bougie part in Compton?
I was going to leave you alone.
Seriously?
No. Anybody knows Compton? There's Compton. There's the hood, D-A-H-O-D. And then there's a part near the Carson that has the stucco houses. Anybody knows the stucco houses, the nice tan houses where all the pretty girls work?
Why'd I go there? Why'd I even do
You
that?
opened the door.
I did. Anyway, so my father got the track coaching job at the University of Arizona. So my life went from 99.9% black Compton to 99.9% white Tucson. And growing up, traversing both of those worlds, it was really clear really quick. We weren't black enough for the black kids or white enough for the white kids. And I was grateful that I had parents that were like, just be 100% who you are. So that means, that's right. So that means no matter what room I step into, I had the privilege from my parents to be 100% authentically who I was. And growing up with that freedom, it was extraordinary because in our house, impossible was an opinion, not a fact. We were told whatever the mind can perceive, the will could achieve. So when adversity would come up throughout my life, and it has all throughout my life, it was never an excuse to not be better than. It was never an excuse not to achieve or to overcome, because as you said, overcoming is just what we do.
That's right.
My mom was really clear all growing up. You have to work twice as hard to get half as much. You are a black child in America, and that is just your reality. And so we understood what the rules of the game were, and we set out to be what we could be in it. And that was always just striving to be our best self. And so that mentality took me through college at USC. It took me into the workplace, and it took me into a lot of things that, although my father was the first black head coach at a major university, I was still the first in a lot of things, still some 30, 40 years later. And it became one of those things where you never used it as an excuse. You just always focused on how to see those obstacles as opportunities for you to step into the space and be something, make something of it, do something with it that other people maybe thought was impossible or thought they couldn't do. That became the hallmark of my career. And so I always just stepped into the space and filled the void of where those were opportunities.
Absolutely. Somebody in your life told you they loved you. It's obvious. Who was that? Is it Mom?
You want to know what's crazy? And people actually don't believe it. I grew up feeling very, very loved. We did not use those words in my household.
Really?
When I first started dating my husband, he said, "I loved you" for 3 months. And I would say, "Thank you." That's nice. Thank you. And he's like, what is wrong with you? I don't want to marry you. I just want to know I'm not in this by myself. And I'd explained to him, I didn't grow up hearing those words, but I felt very, very loved. So today, that person is my husband. He tells me every day, multiple times a day, that I am loved.
So was it very structured?
It was very structured, yeah. I grew up in a very, it wasn't military, but it was just very disciplined and very structured around like setting expectations about how you should behave, what you could achieve, and always, always, always striving to your best. When your father's a track coach, it's always about besting yourself. You're not in competition with anybody. It's always about what's the best that you can do, and so always strive. So that's, I think, what's helped me in corporate America as well. I've never been jealous about what other people had, or I can celebrate what other people have, because that's for them. What God has for me is for me. And so for me, it's always about how do I be the best I can be, and I can be happy for you and yours. And people recognize that. People see that. You can celebrate others.
So I'm going to give you an example of this. So we were backstage, and Christy and I were supposed to be talking about like a little brief on what she and I are going to chat about. And she used her time actually to introduce me to somebody else. And that someone else is here. Jenny Brousseau. I'm saying this probably. Jenny, where are you?
Yeah.
Stand up. Stand up. Jenny is, and this is just announced on Friday, the bank, Charlie and the group there, and Saul, they just announced Jenny as to be in charge of Financial Crimes Division for Consumer and Business Lending. She is the highest ranking Latino female at the bank.
Woo!
So we have the highest ranking black female and the highest ranking Latino female. We didn't plan this. This is just God showing up and showing out. But this is an example of you using your light to shine on others. When I talk to Bishop T.D. Jakes and we want to figure out, how best to do something, we both call you at the bank. Not because you're black, because you're good, and you happen to be black.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now let's pivot a little bit. I want to talk about what you're doing and how we're going to unlock doors for others. But I want to talk a bit about some of the challenges. Life's not been easy in these roles. We need to future-proof, which means this audience needs to understand not just the what, but the how. So when you deal with difficult situations, difficult people, folks who have backwards ideas, which we find everywhere. You got to go back to now to your childhood, not being emotional. Don't win the battle and lose the war. Step over mess, not in it. What are some of those values that you'd like to share with this audience as a bit of teachable moments that they can take with them?
Yeah. Well, for me, it always comes to, I get on my knees first and start praying. And always try to seek guidance about where am I supposed to move. And I think that's what I've learned over my career is I pray first and move second. Because if I move before I hear, the whisper from God, or before I have that clear direction, I always end up messing up. And so that's been one. It's just stay still enough. I think when mess happens, we want to fix it. We want to move out of it. It's uncomfortable. And I've learned to stay in that discomfort and pray about it until I hear move. And so this move into, the role of financial inclusion, it really was about how do I have a greater impact for the bank? Where were there gaps in the bank, and where were there opportunities for me to try to step in and make a difference? And it was building that business case about how best to do that in a way that the bank saw that there would be value in stepping into that space and doing something that would have a meaningful impact, not just on a few people, but millions of people. And that's what I identified. We had 3 different initiatives at the bank, and we were helping thousands of people, not millions of people. None of the products that we had were actually connecting people to their financial futures. And we were trying to step into a space of, like not eroding trust, and we've had some trust issues at Wells Fargo in the community, and so we were trying to navigate that through it. But what I said to people is, I said, have you ever grown your financial wealth without investing in a product? And the answer for most of us is no. So it's like, why wouldn't we offer that to our customers? You obviously have to do it in the right space of trust, but that's what it's about, is understanding what your customers need, understanding what the opportunities are for you to lean into providing opportunities for them that are going to make meaningful differences in their life. And so that's what we've really tried to lean
So let me see if I can translate a little bit, because she said something that I'm not sure you caught it. She's already there. She's already at a senior level. Last year, I'm thinking about, you had to reinvent yourself.
I had to reinvent myself.
Did you hear me? I don't know if you got that. She's at the bank. She's in the role. She's in the C-suite. Everybody going to lunch, going to dinner, going to meetings, but being smart is not enough.
That's right.
You had to read the tea leaves, understand the moment had changed, understand the bank was in a different place. You were coming out of this place where you were restricted to being hopefully unrestricted, which happened.
That's right.
The bank reputational issues, which might have given you cover, to be blunt, as a black woman before. That was no longer the case. Now the reputational issues were behind. Now you had to deliver, and you didn't have to be lectured about that. No one had to tell you that. Because I remember you called me, you took it upon yourself.
That's right.
To create a value proposition for yourself to the bank. Is that right?
That's right. But not only for myself, it was a value proposition for what I hope is going to be millions of people.
That's right.
But it's seeing where, and I think that's the learning that I've had, is when we're in these spaces, it's like, how do you create those opportunities? Where you see opportunity, how do you step into that space and create those opportunities to bring others along and to change the lives of millions? And so when I'm in those rooms in the operating committee and I'm listening to what some of the challenges are of the bank, I'm thinking about each of you. I'm thinking about how do we use the resources of Wells Fargo to make it better for the millions of people that are out there, to change people's lives. Because what's the point in being in the seat if we're not going to change the lives of the people in our communities? And so that's where I really try to focus.
So I wanted you to know her soul. Can you feel it? She's really a good person. And what we were talking about earlier, the bank went through some challenges, made some mistakes.
No doubt.
Had to own it.
Yep.
As you said, you can't be a $2 trillion bank and not screw something up.
That's right.
And I like the way Charlie and the team owned it. I was part of some of those conversations. I like the way in which you have not tried to shy away from that. You actually brought it up to me earlier. And now the future is about economic opportunity. Even I'm with the Hope Inside, we're saying we're producing customers for you. We don't want to hand out, we want to hand up.
That's right.
And so what does that mean for you in this new role? How can this group think about how they benefit from you now being in the operating committee, in those board meetings, and in this seat? Over the next 12 to 15 months, how do they position themselves to benefit from what you're doing?
Yeah. I love the fact that this conference is about future-proofing, because I think right now we all have this tremendous opportunity to step into something new, to step into something fresh and really reinvent ourselves. Yes. And I think that's what, if I've learned anything in the last couple of months being in this financial inclusion and opportunity space, it is that far too many of us are not realizing the financial futures that we could have.
That's right.
And I want people to believe that whatever financial future you have for yourself, whatever goals, whatever dreams, whatever aspirations you have for yourself and your family, they are possible. They're possible with hard work, with commitment, and really leaning into doing the hard work. Because that's what it takes. And a Wells Fargo or any company that's out there can really set you up for that. But at the end of the day, nothing is to substitute from you building the right money habits, thinking thoughtfully about what you want your goals and your future will be. But it has to start with an ask for help. Yeah. It has to start with leaning in to the possibility of what it could be, setting up a plan and doing the work. And that's what we want to help people with. We do that with you every day with the Hope Inside Centers, right? You can walk into a Wells Fargo branch and meet with a coach and do it with the Help Inside Centers. But people have to first get past the guilt and the shame of how we might have managed and the mistakes we've made in the past and really step into that to take advantage of the help and the support and the resources that are available. That's what I want people to know.
So you want to unlock prime capital for home ownership, prime capital and credit for small business.
For small business, yeah.
What, am I missing something?
Well, access to capital, access to product, and access to resources.
Those three things.
Those three things.
And that is done because it advances the economic prosperity. You're able to do this because it advances the economic prosperity for the bank. In other words, this is not about black or white or red or blue, it's about green.
Always.
And if you deliver that, you'll get more, we all get more of that.
That's right.
Can we help her deliver that? Then that means you get a bigger portfolio and a bigger job and keep growing your, because this is about emerging markets.
That's right.
We're out of time, but I want to ask you this question. Have you enjoyed this? Question. Your 18-year-old self is sitting in the audience. Your 25-year-old self is sitting in the audience. Your 30-year-old self who is a little insecure. She got a job, lost a job, not paid respect. Somebody disrespected her. She thought about being emotional. She wanted to pop off and tell somebody else she really thought.
I still do that.
What advice do you have to those 3 or 4 young ladies that are really you, but different software upgrades of you? What advice does a mature version of you now, what advice do you have to her that they can take with them?
The advice I'd get is you're already whole. You're already enough. Like everything you have, everything you need, you already possess. It's about putting your head down. It's about working hard. It's about taking advantage of opportunities without fear, without regret, and always, always, always staying true to yourself.
Love all of you.
Love all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chrissy Fergo.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, motivational. We are ready for that. I think John shouted out Ronnie DeVoe and he wasn't sitting there. So Ronnie, Shamari, stand up. All right. I want to thank Christy, Wells Fargo for their longtime support of Operation Hope and the Hope Global Forums. A big thank you for John, because he always brings the energy, doesn't he? He needs his own talk show, among the other things he's already doing. Next up, we have a very special session that will highlight a couple of the ways Operation Hope stands beside people as they take control of their financial futures. That's what we're here about, to see, right? It's part of why we are all here. Get ready to see how Operation Hope shows up for people each and every day. So please welcome back to the stage, Lance Triggs.
Having a good time so far? All right. We're just getting started here. We're just getting started. Come on up here, Marla. So this next segment, we're going to feature a client success story. You know, we take pride in the work that we're doing. I'm excited to feature our disaster work. You know, our preparation, disaster, and response and recovery. Unfortunately, disasters are not going to go away. In 2024, there were 90 major disasters in the U.S., 104 this year, with the impact of over $100 billion in damage. Operation Hope has been in the forefront of providing disaster preparation, response, and recovery since 9/11. And so we're very proud of how we're supporting people in their time of need. In Los Angeles, which is our hometown, when we started Operation Hope, we responded very quickly to the LA wildfires, supporting the communities in the Palisades and Altadena. Marlon, he's not my bodyguard, he's really the senior director of the program. Let's give him a round of applause. It's his team that's doing great work every day across the country, which includes LA and even in Maui. So we're very excited about the support we're getting with UPS. I see you, LaCarrie, out there with UPS, Citibank. I see cities here, been very instrumental in supporting the work that we're doing, American Red Cross, PayPal, and many others. Before I introduce our client success story, I want to give a special shout out to Citibank and the students. Or the students here, if you could stand up. These students represent Boys and Girls Club, Parkside Elementary, as well as Slater Elementary School, and they participated in an essay, and these students have done such a great job. They're here because of the great work they've done. I want to say their names, and if they're here, they can stand up. Chloe, Lucy, Hazel, Jude, Caleb, Ava, Shane, Kaylee, and Danielle. Stand up. Be recognized. These are the young students that are making things happen thanks to our partnership with Citibank. And then lastly, tied to the work that Citibank does with us, is tied to our child savings account here in Atlanta, where every kindergartner gets a bank account that is opened by Citibank. We have over 10,500 kindergartens that have bank accounts now. And studies have shown when you have a bank account, you have a high graduation rate from high school and college entry rate. So let's give Citibank a round of applause for that work. So at this time, I want to have our success story. She's not a victim. Yes, she's a survivor of the fires, but she's also been an inspiration to a number of communities, not only in the Palisades, but bridging the gap between the Palisades and Altadena and the businesses and residents there. And so she's going to share her story very briefly with you and why the work of disaster under Marlon's leadership is so important. So let's give a round of applause to our client, Alicia Dawes.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here and share my story. My lifelong dream was about to come true of being a published author. I was just about to launch my first book with Penguin Random House. And then January 7th happened. The fires began. See, there was no warning. There was not even sirens. I stepped outside and I was hit by this demonic cloud of black smoke and flames rushing towards me. You see, I live on a mountain with one way in and out, except for the fire road, which appeared to be on fire. And people were running and screaming in the streets. No one knew what to do. And then I got a panicked call from my son that he had jumped in his car and was somewhere on the burning mountain. And then the call dropped before I had any idea where he was. I jumped in my car, screeched down the mountain, and there was 100 cars blocking the only exit out. The firefighters grabbed me and said, "You have to go back up the mountain." I said, "I'm not going without my son." They said, "Ma'am, you will die if you stay here. Go." I went back up the mountain. After an hour, they bulldozed 100 cars, and I was able to get out. Thank God my son called me and said he had also gotten out. But then it was 3 weeks while we watched our homes burned unchecked. In the midst of this, I got down on my knees and I said, "It took my whole life to buy this home, please." And I was shown a vision of angels on my roof, and they showed me a teardrop shape, and they said, "Well, keep your home safe." When the fires were finally out, the fire map was 100% bright red, meaning burned to the ground, except one white teardrop shape, and my home was in that shape. But, thank you. But then a new nightmare began with moving constantly and dealing with insurance and FEMA and a completely bombed out city. Nobody knew what to do. It was another version of people running in the streets. My insurance adjuster actually said to me, "You'd have been better off if your home had burned to the ground because we couldn't fight you." And you see, the smoke is toxic. Our homes were poisoned. We had to discard most of our possessions. My book launch was delayed for a year. I was giving up hope. And then I found Operation Hope. And Coach Andrew Avina, we dismissed my lawyer. My insurance claim wasn't moving forward, and Andrew and I got it done. Andrew had been a contractor, so he grilled the remediation companies. He made them redo the inventory. After the remediation, both my blood and my home tested positive for lead. The insurance company said, "Your claim is complete." Andrew got righteous, and he said, "Not on my watch." And he contacted the insurance commission. He wrote letters. He got me a new adjuster, and my claim is moving forward again. In the midst of this, Coach Bryant interviewed a group of us business owners and who've been in the fire. And business after business, he diagnosed exactly what they needed, not only to get back up after the fire, but to be stronger than ever. It was masterful. He was not giving a hand out. He was giving a hand up, and with it, dignity. And this is the fourth time I've lost almost everything. The first time was just down the street when my sorority house at Emory University burned to the ground, taking all my possessions. Then it happened in New York City. Then again during the Rodney King riots, where everything I owned, including my cars, was stolen. I went through every one of those on my own. I got through it by my faith, but on my knees. This time with the Palisades fire, with the support of Operation Hope, it's taking months, not years. And this might sound unusual at a global economic summit, but I'm just going to say it. I believe something beautiful is trying to be born on our planet. We are moving towards an enlightened, more grace-filled. Look at this gathering. You can feel it. But when something beautiful is trying to be born, that which is in the way will surface. Fires of misinformation, of division, and yes, disasters, man-made and natural. They are proliferating fast. Without support, the vulnerable, even the strong, the hardworking will fall, and they will take us with them. This is a time to support. In my work with nonprofits, I have never seen an organization so impeccably run as Operation Hope. They're not an organization of hope. They are an organization of action inspired by hope. In a world on fire, they're the ones carrying the water. And I want to say this from the deepest place in me. With the fires, it wasn't the government who held us. It wasn't FEMA. It was you. It was the people. It was the churches. It was the temples. It was strangers. It was the nonprofits, especially Operation Hope. It was you who support them. You are the reasons my sons and I did not fall too far. It was the people. It was all of us. It was we, the people. And nothing is more hopeful than that. Thank you.
Go ahead. All right, let's give Alicia a round of applause, everyone. Yeah, the wildfires in LA is personal to me as well. My brother lost his home, as well as a couple of relatives, and spending time out there over the last several months, it was just such a very impactful moment. So the work that we're doing there, we're very proud of. 20,000 homes and businesses were destroyed, close to $60 billion in damage. So thank you for our partners or sponsors like Citi and American Red Cross and others, and PayPal for helping us do this great work. So next up, I'm excited to introduce you a panel representing Clark Atlanta University. We're very proud of our partnership with Clark Atlanta under the leadership of President French, which we've been doing some great work tied to the 1 Million Black Business Initiative. We're in our Next Gen program where we're helping students become entrepreneurs through this program. But tonight, we're going to talk about a new fund that the university has not only invested in, but the students are creating profit in this, the Student Investment Fund. So without further ado, I want to introduce Dean Sylvanus Udoka. Come on out, Dean. Give him a round of applause. Student Camera Lemons and Cheyenne Taylor. Give them a round of applause. All right, all right, all right. Are we ready?
Yes.
I am so excited about this program. Working with Dr. French and Dean Udoka, we've been doing some great work over the past few years. And so when Dean Udoka and I were talking about the Student Investment Fund and what the university is doing in terms of how to manage investments, I'm not going to steal his thunder. You're going to hear some exciting things happening. And is Clark Atlanta out there? Can I? We have a lot of the participating students out there as well. So, Dean Udoka, why don't you tell the audience, not only here, but the millions on live stream, about the Student Investment Fund that Clark Atlanta had created.
Thank you so much, Lance, to the forum for this platform.
Uh-oh. Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
There we go.
Hey. Mic check. I'll start over. I want to thank you, Lance, and Operation Hope for giving us this platform. The Clark Atlanta University School of Business, for leans on over 100 years of leadership in business education. Our founding institutions started one of the first business colleges in 1883, and the very first graduate business education in 1946. We have remained leaders across the spectrum through time. What we've done over the years is to maintain this leadership, and that comes in the form of what these great students will talk to you about today. At Clark Atlanta University Business School, we have this signature curriculum leaning on enterprising ingenuity. Enterprising ingenuity takes ingenious sense and blends good business sense to deliver on confounding problems across the business spectrum. So this leans on the work of W.E.B. Du Bois, who was our first economics professor, whose work told us that hard work plus education uplifts communities. And that is what this is all about. It really is. And so what the modern day manifestation of the legacy of the work that we've done is the Student Managed Investment Fund. The students will call it SMIF. And the Student Managed Investment Fund, the university this past year invested $1 million to allow us to actually invest real money. These students have been doing a phenomenal job.
Dean, I don't think they heard you. How much was the investment that Clark Atlanta University made?
$1 million.
Walking the talk.
Yes. So the university entrusted us with $1 million. And we have entrusted our students with actually investing these funds. To date, they have surpassed the markets. They will tell you their story accordingly. So this ties into one of our key areas of uplift, which is, again, the uplifting of communities. Every day, students like Camara and Cheyenne live this. And this is why we are here to have a conversation with you and tell you what incredible work these young people are doing.
Awesome, awesome. All right, Camara. So why don't you first share with the audience what interests you to be a part of the Student Investment Fund, and what impact has it had on your life being a part of the program?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the first thing that I want to point out, of course, that this fund is $1 million, and it's $1 million real dollars. It's the first of its kind within the Atlanta University Center, so the conglomerate of schools of Clark Atlanta University, Spelman College, Morehouse College, and Morris Brown College. So previously we have heard chatter of student managed investment funds within the AUC, but everything has been a simulation. You know, nothing has actually had real capital to back it up. And so the fact that we had the opportunity to be a part of something where we are actively investing into real capital markets, that really excited me. I was able, along with Cheyenne and our other peers in the class, we're able to use our vast experience in the Bloomberg terminal and security analysis and be able to actually use that wealth of knowledge and actually contribute it to the financial well-being of our school. So that's what has, you know, really interested me about this opportunity, and it's been incredibly rewarding. You know, it's more than grades or recognition. It's being able to actually contribute to our institution, so that's been really impactful. Outside of my academic and financial acumen, I have been able to leverage this opportunity in interviews. You know, companies absolutely love hearing about, you know, our experience with equity research and collaboration and the growth of our portfolio. And that has really been an accelerator for me in my professional career. So, of course, I'm very grateful to get that experience, to be able to use it in my own personal investments and take it back to my family and tell them what they should be investing in. Collaborating with the students, that has also been incredibly rewarding, you know, getting to brainstorm with them on what we should invest in, and then just getting to know them as people, as humans. You know, we spend, I couldn't even tell you how many hours in the Bloomberg lab working on our pitches. I know Cheyenne can attest to that as well. So just getting to know our instructors, our fellow students, and then just building our investment knowledge has been incredible.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. So Cheyenne, same question. What attracted you to the program, and why has it been an impactful experience for you and the other student participants?
Yeah, funny story. I actually was not going to join the Student Managed Investment Fund. I just thought that I couldn't handle it, but we have an amazing group of faculty who truly believe in our students, and Dr. Hudson, who is the head of our finance department, shout out to the faculty. She reached out to me and she was like, here, take another look of what the program offers, interview with us. So I went ahead and read over everything. I interviewed, and I just realized I couldn't let this opportunity slip past. And I thank God that they took a chance on me and, you know, reached out to me, because it has been so beneficial. I mean, boosted my confidence, put us in opportunities like right now. I never would imagine I would be speaking in front of you all. And just like the amazing rooms that we have been placed in, being able to articulate, you know, financials, and from a base knowledge of investments to now like being able to talk to my parents about what they should be doing. So it's just been a great experience, and I'm truly thankful. I want to give a great big shout out to all of the students here who are a part of it, first cohort and second cohort, but it's been a great experience, to say the least.
That's awesome, that's awesome, that's awesome. So you completed 2 cohorts?
Yes.
And what's the size of each cohort? How many students?
Yes, so our first class was 15 students, and today it's 9 students.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot on our plate, but we got it, we got it.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, Dean Udoka, you took that initial investment by Clark Atlanta, $1 million, and the participants, the students, took that money and invested I assume there were some gains from the market. Can you share a little bit about the gains? I can
tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal for the Smith Fund is to outperform the S&P 500. And so year to date...
Oh, wait a minute. They talk about the S&P 500, y'all.
Everybody knows about the S&P 500.
Yes, the S&P 500. And just year to date, for the S&P 500, the return has been 13%. And for our portfolio...
wait, how many percent?
13% for the S&P.
Within how much, what time frame?
We started investing in May.
Okay,
Yeah.
Since May.
And so since May, when we started investing, we've seen a 17% return. So we have
As of
today.
We have beaten the S&P 500 benchmark, so we're really proud about that.
And we're actually invested in a couple companies that are here today.
Absolutely.
So shout out to the companies here, but yeah.
That's awesome, awesome. And then I also understand that part of the program includes an internship, right?
Well, we like to treat the program as an internship. So it is a course. We do get school credit for it. However, because we actually are investing real dollars, and we actually, do put in the work and the research just like any other analyst at any company, we do try to treat it as an internship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know ultimately, go ahead, Dean, you do.
The course is really set up as an internship.
Yeah.
The students going through this program work this program as if they are interning at any investment firm. So they come up, and the ultimate goal is to have them have fluency in this space. So we are growing investment professionals that can move into any of your firms and perform on day one.
That's right. And I think J.P. Morgan Chase is participating in the internship program.
Yes, J.P. Morgan.
So I know J.P. Morgan's out there. Shout out.
Of this.
And we want other investment companies to be a part of not only the internship program, but creating jobs.
Yes. What we ultimately look to do is to partner with firms here. To all firms in the investment banking business, in the alternatives investment business. We are looking for partners. We're looking to grow this program because ultimately what we want to do is to produce professionals who are, again, ready on day one. So this is the best investment you can make because these Bees Panthers, as we call them, make a lot of sense, dollars and change for the world.
That's right. Well said. I mean, this is so huge. I mean, because when we talk about financial literacy, a lot of times we talk about education and coaching tied to our work. But Operation Hope, through all of our partners, some of them are sponsors, we're really trying to break this cycle of financial illiteracy. And so the fact that we're spending time with the young adult population, ages 18 to 24, to help them to understand the language of money, but not just at the basic level, but from the wealth creation level. These ladies here, as well as the other students that are here representing Clark Atlanta, is a great example of the work that we're doing, thanks to our partners, of breaking that cycle and creating a present and a future in the wealth management space. And so, again, President French, I don't know if you're out there, just want to thank you and the Clark Atlanta students for this wonderful program. And we thank you, J.P. Morgan Chase, for being a participant with the internships. And I just encourage our other banks and investment companies to look at this as a wonderful opportunity to prepare future Wall Street money managers, wealth managers, because they're a great example. 17%. Give them a round of applause. Well, thank you all for your time. We're looking forward to some more. We're not finished yet. And so we're going to bring up the next guest. And so as we leave, give a round of applause to Dean Udoka, Tamara, and Cheyenne, and the Clark Atlanta University.
Shout out to my faculty in the audience.
That's right.
unscheduled. Can you guys hear me? I laugh because this is unscheduled. I'm not on the program, but I just saw somebody in the audience, and I need to acknowledge this person. The right arm to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the first black man to be elected to Congress since Reconstruction, the first black UN ambassador in the history of the United States of America, mayor of Atlanta, the man who brought the Olympics to Atlanta and turned Atlanta into the international city in the South, 125 honorary doctorate degrees, recipient of the French Foreign Legion Award, U.S. Medal of Freedom, a bad brother, on the balcony when Dr. King was assassinated, still living his truth. I'm sure inspired by what he saw today, going from civil rights to civil rights, the man that made Atlanta the moral capital of America, Ambassador Andrew J. Young.
Amazing. We definitely want to give them their flowers. So happy to see them. Ready to celebrate another birthday in March. I think it'll be 93 years old. Some fabulous guests in this ballroom. We want to thank all of you who are here. Mortgage Mom, Brandy Brown, where are you? Raise your hand. Okay, my friends from Cisco, where are you? It is a nice crew. Coca-Cola Company, Iglesias Hollins, where are you? Right here, Coca-Cola Company. So please support all of these companies who are supporting us out here today. Very inspiring to see. How about those young kids, Clark Atlanta University? Were you doing that? Were you investing like that? I don't think I was in college. This is some of the ways Operation Hope is making a difference and improving lives each and every day. If you'd like to enable Operation Hope to do more work like this with our young people, because they are our future, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen right now. Or if you don't want to do that and pull out your phone, go to operationhope.org to make a donation. And please take pictures tonight. Share these pictures. Let everybody know about tonight, because it's not over. We've still got more days, right? And they need to know what's happening in Atlanta. Next, we have an update from one of our amazing partners who's been at the forefront of helping Operation Hope turn small business dreamers into small business owners. Please welcome the Senior Vice President, Community Development Program Director for Huntington Bank, Stacy Glenn Short.
Good evening, everyone. Are you having a nice time this evening? Yes. Woo! It's an honor to stand here before you this evening, and I get to share a story of partnership, innovation, and impact. It's a story that happens when two like-minded organizations put their mind to creating a shared vision and recognizing that shared vision. Over the past 5 years, Huntington and Operation Hope have worked side by side to help entrepreneurs turn their dreams into reality, whether that dream is starting a business or scaling a new one to new heights. We know the challenges small businesses face when seeking funding. Two of the most critical and most difficult requirements are the development of a business plan and pro forma financials. These documents can feel very overwhelming, and for many, they become the barrier to growth. Thank you. That's why, through our partnership, we developed an online learning system designed to break down that barrier. This platform equips entrepreneurs with tools, knowledge, and the ability to create both the business plan and the financial projections they need, empowering them to move forward with confidence. In conjunction with the training program, Huntington launched the Lift Local Loan Program, and the results have been surprising even to us. To date, 3,255 businesses have received loans totaling $253 million. And these loans are to women, veteran, and diversely owned businesses. On top of that, we have 2,445 people that are still actively working through the course online and are heading towards getting a loan. This course has made learning accessible and flexible. It allows entrepreneurs to work on these critical documents at their own pace and when they have time. And both Huntington and Hope have used it extensively together, and we have continued to learn from our experience in using the software. But we haven't stopped there. We believe there is a limitless opportunity to support small businesses, not just those we serve directly, but across communities everywhere. That's why we've had a shared vision for some time now to make this course available broadly so that others can use it to empower their small business clients everywhere. And today we are so thrilled to announce that through our collaboration with Operation Hope, Hope will be launching the next generation of this program. So early next year, a newly redeveloped small business experience will be available for licensing through Operation Hope. This brings this powerful resource to even more entrepreneurs nationwide. And this is more than a program. This honestly has been a movement not only for Hope, but for Huntington and for all of our colleagues. Breaking down those barriers and creating access and fueling dreams has been a dream of ours. And we're so happy to help people realize that. Together, we are proving that when you combine a vision with action, we can transform lives and we can strengthen communities, future-proofing small businesses. So thank you to the Operation Hope team for being our partner, our Huntington colleagues, and the many nonprofits who have been part of this journey. The best is yet to come. Have a great evening.
Come on, Stacey.
Oh.
This is huge. Huntington has been a great supporter of our 1 Million Black Business Initiative. We have currently over 500,000 Black-owned businesses in the program. We're halfway there. And what's under Stacey's leadership and Brant's leadership, Huntington has infused capital to many of these businesses to help them go from startup to sustainable businesses. So give Huntington Bank a round of applause. Thank you, Stacey, for your leadership. Thank you, y'all.
I've definitely been laughed at, mocked. People are like, that's a scam.
Generally, ranchers are one of the more skeptical groups.
You start actually questioning yourself, is this really legitimate?
I was cautiously pessimistic about it at first.
But then you start reading and you start educating yourself with trusted sources.
With crypto, you can have instantaneous transactions. You can transact 24 hours a day.
It gives me so much more autonomy over my own finances. Less fees, more transparency.
It's sustainable, it is equitable, and it's fast.
You can interact directly on the blockchain, exchange items of value much more easily.
It offers you access 24 hours a day.
It's my money, I have access to it, and I can do whatever I want with it. Whether that's invest, pay somebody, or just use it as retirement.
And this technology really can be used for good.
So we talk about this idea of economic freedom a lot, and it's kind of a wonky term that economists like to use, like GDP or something like that. What it actually means is how easy is it for people to build things in the economy? So are there basic property rights? And they start a business that they want to start or work at a company they want to start at. And that's what cryptocurrency is giving us an opportunity to do with the financial system. It's exciting because it has positive downstream effects in society, not only on things like economic growth, but it also creates better outcomes in terms of self-reported happiness, better treatment of the environment, higher literacy rates, and all kinds of things. So it's this kind of powerful idea that if you let people keep the upsides of their labor and you allow people to try new things in a low friction way, all kinds of things in society work better. I think crypto is the most important technology to update the financial system and create more economic freedom in the world.
Okay, we're getting close to the great Deborah Cox joining us on stage. So don't go anywhere. I know you're going to want to try and run out and beat the traffic, but you don't want to leave. What do you guys think about this cryptocurrency thing, right? All right. Well, next up for our closing session tonight, we're going to have a conversation about something we've all probably heard about, maybe wondering about, very curious about, to talk about the future of proofing crypto literacy. Please welcome to the stage the CEO of Advantage Evans FinTech Academy and the author of Digital Money Demystified, Dr. Tanya M. Evans. Give her a round of applause. The Vice President of Communications at the National Cryptocurrency Association, Ali Tager. And the Chief Financial Officer of Coinbase, Alicia Haas. This is a powerhouse. You're going to enjoy this. Any questions you have, they're probably going to be able to answer for you and let you know just how this all works. And our moderator for this panel, you guys know her, you love her. She is the senior advisor to the president, she was, and 60th mayor of Atlanta. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Hello, hello, hello. Y'all are looking great out there. I just have to say I'm so happy to see Ambassador Young and his beautiful wife, Carolyn. I can't take the stage without acknowledging my friend and my mentor and still our fearless leader. So thank you for being here, Ambassador Young. And thank you to all of you all for this great conversation. I have to tell you, my intro to Bitcoins and crypto was not the best intro in the world. It happened when I was mayor of Atlanta, and we were experienced the largest cyber attack in the history of any municipality in America. And they wanted $50,000 in Bitcoins. And I remember saying, even if I wanted to pay the ransom, I don't even know where to go and get it. So haven't I come a long way? I now have the honor and the pleasure of serving as an advisor on Coinbase. And Coinbase really had me at hello, because the conversation was about how do we even the playing field? How do we make sure that all communities, especially communities of color, who've often been left out of the benefits of traditional financial institutions, how do we all have a seat at the table with trusted partners like Coinbase? How do we make sure that our communities have access to capital in the same way that I had the privilege of creating programs following in the footsteps of Ambassador Young, to make sure that our underserved communities have access to capital? How do we make sure that we are able to trust our institutions with literally our lives, our financial well-being? And for me, it was my children who said, "Ma, crypto, you better do that." So I'm glad to have this conversation today with this great panel. You all have heard the introduction, so we are going to jump right in on this conversation. I'm going to make sure I try and stick to my notes here. We know that crypto has dominated the headlines, often not in the most positive way, as I've mentioned. And Alicia, we'll start with you about Coinbase being a trusted partner and what that means, and how Coinbase has stood up to helping to fight scams and giving crypto and blockchain a great name.
Well, first of all, I'm just delighted to be here. We are so excited to bring crypto to Operation Hope's stage and to have the opportunity to talk to you about this important technology, and important to talk about the critical need for education and trust in the system. So we were founded with the idea we wanted access to Bitcoin, access to crypto, to be trusted and easy to use. And that started Coinbase and Brian's founding of Coinbase back in 2012. We consider ourselves safeguarding customer funds. We safeguard over $500 billion of assets, $500 billion of crypto, or 12% of the world's crypto is sitting on our platform. And we take our job of consumer education very seriously. We produce a blog called Crypto Education Tuesdays, where we talk about various scams that we see in the industry, how to protect yourself from these scams. We partner deeply with law enforcement, both in the US and around the world. And we've been proud to work with Secret Service, US Marshals Service, the FBI to recover funds on behalf of our users. It's important to know this is new technology, and there's a myth about the privacy in crypto, but it's infinitely traceable, many hops. And we are building tools every day, every week that goes by. We're building tools to continue to make this safer, more trustworthy, and we're really proud to be a partner and a deep resource in this space to really protect users.
Preach. I love that. And I would love to pile on. We're in a similar boat at the National Cryptocurrency Association. We're a nonprofit that's really here to help everyday Americans like me and you and my grandmother and my nephews
My children.
Exactly.
Me too. Yeah.
Exactly. But how they can benefit from the digital economy. I think this technology is changing people's lives for the better. And the NCA has been doing a ton of research into who's using crypto in America, how and why, and who isn't, and what's holding them back. And any guesses on what's holding them back? People don't get it. It's confusing, it's complicated, it's overwhelming, and so we want to demystify it, take out that hype and jargon, and make it really simple and accessible so that people can figure out when, where, and how it might be able to fit into their personal and professional lives.
And you had some interesting stats that we talked about on who the face of crypto is. And I made some assumptions that it wasn't somebody my age, of course, or my gender, or my race even. Can you talk a little more about those stats?
Yeah, exactly. So earlier this year, we did the largest ever study of crypto in America. And what we found is that crypto holders really come from all walks of life. It's not just the young, white, wealthy tech bros that you might think of when you hear of crypto. More crypto holders are actually over 55 than under 25. A third of crypto holders are women. More work in construction than in finance, and almost as many in tech. A quarter of crypto earning households make less than $75K a year. And we're seeing pretty equal adoption of this technology among races, regions, religions. But when it comes to historically underrepresented communities, especially Black and Hispanic groups, they trust crypto more than twice as much as they trust traditional banking. So there's a real opportunity for us to bring the two together and make sure that people are, like you said, benefiting from this playing field being leveled.
And I think we saw that in the election because we have more bipartisan support for crypto policy than anything else. And it was because we have 50 million Americans that own crypto in the United States, and they voted to get crypto policy brought to the US.
And Tanya, in your role, you wear a couple of hats, including being an IP attorney. And for those of you all who aren't attorneys, that's like a super duper attorney. You got to be extra smart and get some extra credentials. You don't just get to show up and be an IP attorney. So with your hat on, your legal hat and your lens with crypto, what are you seeing across the landscape?
I really saw that this idea of digitally secured methods of exchanging value is really the next wave of digital ownership. So it was really fascinating to me as an intellectual property lawyer when I dealt in the realm of copyright and trademark and patent. These are things that are created with the mind but have some type of tangible form. But here with digital assets, we have the ability to still use the same technology from earlier, the internet, peer-to-peer technology, which really got my attention when allegedly, purportedly, people were file sharing. Some of that was copyright infringement. That's a panel for another day. But being able to use peer-to-peer technology, the internet, consensus protocols, and what we call cryptography, which really doesn't mean cryptic or illegal, but it's really encryption, an encrypted way to move things. Because remember, when we were dealing with peer-to-peer technology, I could make a perfect digital MP3 file, and I could send it to you, but I still had the original, now you had one. That might work well for file sharing. It does not work well for money. and for value. And so that really interested me and brought me in as a professor, as a lawyer, and also just as an academic, really wanting to make sense of this for our community in particular, because this is the next wave of technology, and we cannot afford to get left behind by mis and disinformation. So demystifying the space is my calling and my charge.
Why do you?
Let's go.
Nothing like a great hype section.
Let's go.
So why do you think crypto has gotten such a bad name, or does it have a bad name, and how do we fix that?
I'm happy to take the
That's you.
lead. My background's in communications, so I definitely have lots of thoughts and feelings and opinions on sort of how the public perception has been shaped. And I think that it's human nature to fear what we don't understand. And if you look at history, any new technology, AI, even the internet, railroads, automobiles, even electricity, when these new things come on the scene, people don't understand it. And so they're inherently going to push it away. And then we unfortunately saw some early bad apples spoil the bunch. Cough, cough, Sam Bankman-Frieds of the world. And I think that that's really what the media has grabbed onto. And it's becoming a little bit fear-mongering. And I think that we need to help people get to the truth. This technology is not inherently good or bad. But the more that we can educate people about what it is, how it works, and how they can use it, the more that we can keep bad actors out and help good actors thrive.
And I know Coinbase has been a leader in trying to get through legislation, federal legislation, to make sure that everybody has rules that they have to abide by. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
I think that players have long craved clear rules for consumer protection. We believe it's critical to have rules that will protect consumers when we're dealing with new assets of value. This is moving value onto the internet, onto the digital sphere. And so for over a decade, we've been advocating for regulatory clarity here in the US. We saw a really unfortunate trend occurring where a lot of the developers were moving offshore. A lot of the new innovations were moving out of the United States because we were creating a hostile environment for innovation here. So we've just seen, as I mentioned earlier, with bipartisan support, just a groundswell of focus now to bring forth policy in the US. The Genius Act was passed into law earlier this year. This gave us rules on stablecoins. Stablecoins are digital dollars. We've all experienced dollar technology transformation. Every single one of you in this room, whether you think about it this way or not, has likely migrated your time to checks, to debit cards and credit cards, traveler's checks, if you remember what those are. That was technology that we had to move our dollars cross-border decades ago. Prepaid cards, like just ACH, wires, like there's always been new ways to move dollars and pay people in different ways. PayPal, Venmo, like we've done it. We are now looking at stablecoins, just the next wave of technology innovation for how we move dollars cheaply, quickly, globally, in a faster, cheaper way. So this brought forth critical regulation that gives us rules of the road. It clarifies what a payment stablecoin is. How do we have disclosures around the reserves? Who can issue these? Who can't issue these? This provides consumer protection. And what we've seen as a result of this regulatory clarity is corporates are now saying, oh, could I use this? We're seeing more and more individuals being like, oh, I should own some stable coins then. Maybe that is a faster way that I can remit a payment or make a peer-to-peer payment. So really can see that when we create rules of the road, that when we can get clarity, it brings trust that we so critically need. It separates the haves and the have-nots in terms of like trust. And I think this is a really important trend.
And I've been really blown away by some of the innovation of governments across the country, from municipal governments to state governments, that are using blockchain technology, from everything and helping to clear titles to DMV registrations. So for leaders who may be risk adverse, government leaders, because you're dealing with public money and you know there are consequences if you mess it up, what would you say to leaders who may be a little hesitant in trying out this new technology?
Yeah, this is a really important focus because I love focusing on consumers and investors. I believe in strong protections. I've testified before Congress about that, and I take that very seriously. But if the industry is prepared and consumers and investors start to get prepared, but the leaders, the bankers, the CPAs, the lawyers, the C-suites are not conversant, don't know the language, are still, I talk about fear as two sides of a coin, kind of pun intended, but kind of fear of missing out, but also fear of getting in. And over these last few years, with changes in legislation, regulation, C-suites have to get up to speed quickly. And so much of it is the fear of the unknown. And so the great work Coinbase, NCA that are doing in order to change the narrative, to give a balanced perspective, is the thing that leaders really need in order to have confidence internally so that they can turn around and take advantage of consumer-facing and client-facing products that are really going to make a difference in this new economy.
Are you finding that smaller and medium-sized businesses are more eager to use this technology than, say, a Fortune 500 company?
It's a great question. I would say, yeah, right? I think from what we're seeing and what the data is telling us, it is businesses of all sizes, from individual creators, content creators in LA who are paying their video editors around the world in crypto so that they get paid faster and keep more of what they earn. It's artists who are directly selling their artwork on blockchain so that they're cutting out the middlemen of the art galleries and they're ensuring that they get the proceeds every time their work is sold or resold. And then, of course, like you touched on, Alicia, there is the big retailers and big businesses and brands. Sheetz convenience store was for a time offering 50% off to people who were paying in crypto because they're trying to incentivize getting people comfortable with digital payments because it will improve their bottom line in the long run.
Yes, we are seeing all types of customers come in, large corporates, Fortune 100, Fortune 500, small and medium individual proprietors. It's not discriminatory, it's everyone's welcome. Everyone is finding value in this new technology.
And that's why this gathering is so important, because you're working with trusted partners like Operation Hope to let people know who may be a bit skittish or just uninformed that it's okay. And when we were backstage, I was sharing, I'm old enough to remember the Tilly machine. Do you all remember the Tilly machine? That was the ATM machine when I was like 7. And it was this new thing that had everyone blown away that you could go to a machine and actually get your money out. And we talked about some of us were raised to believe that you should keep a little something under your mattress. And you said this is like putting it under your mattress.
This is the most amazing thing. With crypto, you have value on a blockchain. You get to all choose, do I want to self-custody it? Oops, I hit my mic, sorry about that. Do I want to put that on a private ledger and put it under my mattress? Do I want to hold it in a centralized custodian? It's fluid, it's an open architecture. And when I say open architecture, I think this is one of the greatest values of crypto, permissionless open architecture. You are not required to keep all your money at any one institution. You can move it. It is yours. It is portable. It just is your money moving to however you want to hold it. And I think that is really powerful. You don't have to carry suitcases of money. You can literally carry your code in your brain, or you can just hold a app on your phone. It is your asset, your value.
I think that is really challenging to people, though. I had this, about 5 years ago, I started an online course to really work with consumers, and it was called From Cash to Crypto. And the barrier I kept coming up against was that they trusted me. They actually, once I got past the barrier of really not looking under the hood so much, people will naturally gravitate to their own rabbit hole experience if they want to, but you really don't have to know everything about blockchain to understand. The one part about trust, and we were talking about it backstage, that we didn't touch on is, will we trust ourselves? Will we trust ourselves in a new economy where the whole mindset shift is really focused on empowerment, really on our own terms? And the barriers, this is the reason that we over-index in the Black and brown communities here is, from the failure of the Freeman's Bank, and so many institutions have failed us, that we over-index in something that it doesn't matter your race, your gender, your creed, who you love, etc. Either you have a wallet and the asset or you don't. That is a game changer. So really the only barrier at this point is what we're working on now, which is education. It's not the system, it's not the man, but it is the ability to educate yourself with someone who's not trying to sell you on a dream, but give you the opportunity and the tools. So really the work comes from a mindset shift and trusting yourself that when you have new information, you can make a new decision. And that's kind of the empowering aspect of this industry that I find so alluring.
And the interesting stat, again, is communities of color using this technology as a trusted way, whether it is to send money to someone overseas or just not trusting traditional financial institutions. So in the few minutes that we have left, we have a big announcement to share.
We sure do.
All right, is there a drum roll?
It's not Bitcoin for everybody, so calm down. Sorry.
You get a Bitcoin. You get a Bitcoin.
More important, education.
That's next year.
Education. Oh, we are so pleased to share with you that we are entering into a new crypto literacy partnership between Coinbase, the National Cryptocurrency Association, and Operation Hope. And I'm going to tell you from Coinbase's seat why this is so important to us, and I'm going to let Ali share the great work that we hope to do together. But Operation Hope, 30 years of bringing financial dignity to people's lives, a credible, deeply credible resource to so many communities, marries really well with our goal of bringing economic freedom to people, using data that we have to bring education, choice, self-custody, the ability to be your own owner. And the National Cryptocurrency Association, wow, for a very short existence, like 4 months of existence, has become a powerhouse of data, insights, research. And they are just going to bring a wealth of just thoughtful data together that we can then bring our customers' experience, Operations Hope's brand and credibility, and the key research to really drive a crypto literacy program. Yeah. What are we going to do?
So we're building and scaling hands-on crypto coursework and curriculum that is going to help people go from clueless and cautious and curious to ultimately crypto confident. So what that's going to look like is very simple written explainers, animated videos with the idea is you can watch it with your whole family and everyone will get it. We're not dumbing it down, but we're making it really simple and we're putting it in terms that people can understand. We're talking about what the tech is, what you can actually do with it, how it can fit into your lives, things to watch out for, like how you navigate volatility and market swings, right? We're not giving financial advice and we're not plugging specific products, tokens, protocols, but we are completely agnostic, credible, and neutral and data-driven. So these are going to be trustworthy, fact-based resources, but once you sort of get the lay of the land with the sort of videos and written explainers, then we're going to do more hands-on coursework. We like to say it's like the Duolingo of crypto. So it's going to be little lessons so you can kind of test yourself as you go and learn. And then this will all culminate in a risk-free crypto simulator for people who are kind of getting the basics and want to try it, but they maybe are still scared to connect it to their real bank account, right? What if I mess up? What if I click the wrong button? So this is going to be really a full life cycle journey where we're going to give people the tools, resources, and hands-on support so that they can navigate the digital asset economy with confidence. And so the NCA is building these resources and Coinbase is using their trust and expertise to help us scale this. And our first partner, our launch partner, is Operation Hope. So we're going to be giving access to all of these resources to Operation Hope's communities to empower you all to thrive in the crypto economy.
Don't forget the podcast.
And I did steal a page out of Tanya's book, and the NCA just launched a podcast that I'm hosting. It's called Crypto Explained, so follow us on Apple and Spotify. Thank you, thank you.
And when will this be available and how can people access it?
Well, I'm so glad you asked because you are all getting the scoop here first. Our technical announcement about this is going out on Wednesday, so you guys all got early access. But the idea is that we're going to spend Q1, so January, February, March, really building this, tailoring it for Operation Hope's communities, hearing feedback from you all. What issues matter most to you? What do you need to really learn in your day-to-day lives to benefit from this technology? And the goal is to launch these resources in April for Financial Literacy Month.
All right. Well, Ambassador Young often talks about the Atlanta Way, this place where government and civic and corporate and philanthropic leaders come together to make things possible. So I think it's very fitting that this announcement has been made here. And I'll just give a little plug. Even for the city of Atlanta, we had the opportunity to partner with Operation Hope when we created a child savings account for every single public school kindergartner in the city of Atlanta. So I hope, and I trust that this education piece will go far and wide to our kids, to our grandparents, and everyone in between. So thank you all for what you do. Thank you, Coinbase, for being such a trusted partner. Thank you for being such a great advocate, and thank you for educating us and just being so daggone smart. Thank you very much. And thank you all. Thank you.
This area here, which could be extraordinarily prosperous, is actually responsible for living here. Life expectancy, 20 years old. So the average life expectancy in another part of Chicago, 10 minutes from here, is 81 years old. The same potential, same aspirations, same quality of people, same love, same God-fearing spirit, but they missed the memo on free enterprise, capitalism, economic and opportunity. And so it just passed them right by. The Hope did. I'm gonna buy some product from these guys. Is the business better at a certain time? Better in the morning, better in the afternoon? After 12 o'clock at night? My man tells me he does better from midnight until 3 in the morning because the gas stations are closed. And is it safe for you to roll that time of night?
It's never safe. It ain't safe now. I know it was a shooting down there earlier.
I want to invest in your business. I don't want nothing. I want to invest in your business. I'm gonna give you my card.
Okay.
Just email me what you would do if I made a modest investment in this. This is just beautiful. I love it, man. You made my day.
All right, John.
All right, man. God bless you.
Made mad, but
So what made you want to say, I want to invest?
The dude's got, you look in his eye, I mean, he's about his business. He's like talking to a corporate executive. My market share is this. I'm the only guy here. I stay out of here. The customers don't come anymore. My best time is midnight to 3 in the morning. I have safety issues, but here's how I augment it. I got an employee. I got wholesale, retail rates. He's talking like a proper business person, and he, needed somebody to believe in him. That's it. Just past Saxford Avenue, it's a whole nother realm. I mean, this is nothing but wealth. This is 20 minutes away from, 20 minutes away from where we were. This is a 739 credit score neighborhood. I just left a 597 credit score neighborhood. This is just stability. The unemployment rate here is 2.3% compared to 11 to 20% from where I just left. And it's not about the credit score. It's about the trending indicators underneath the credit score: hope, well-being, engagement, belief, confidence, trust, but also access to capital. You got to be intentional about this. If you want to stabilize, I know this sounds crazy. You want to stabilize the neighborhood. I can't control racism. I can't control bias. I can't control political environments. But I can help you control your credit score. Today, we just told the story of America, the dichotomy of two cities and two worlds. And I really believe moving credit scores 100 points, neighborhood by neighborhood, does it. We just told the tale of modern America.
All right. Thank you for sticking around. You guys good? All right, you better get your seats in the front here because you're in for a real treat. Yes, woo, woo, woo. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking around for tonight because we are kicking off this first day. It's huge. And we want everybody in Atlanta to know what we're doing around the country. So join me in giving a big Hope Global Forum's welcome to Grammy-nominated recording artist extraordinaire, Canadian Music Hall of Fame inductee, and an international talent spanning music, Broadway, television, film, fashion. We know she is fabulous. Join me in welcoming Miss Deborah Cox.
That's the only time I get sentimental. Sentimental. How you feeling? Woo! Future group, and I love it. And then, are you ready? Yeah. Sentimental. That's the reason why, baby. Kicking it off, come on. Let's go, come on. Oh, 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 hey. I used to mess around, but I never let it get into me, 'cause I didn't take you serious, baby. Now to be without your love only made me realize what I could have had in you, honey. Now that you're gone, I want you. I said it slapped me on my face, and then my friends don't understand, 'cause I had the chance, but I don't know why I'm going crazy alone. Even days in my heart ain't the same, and I don't even think of as I think about you, baby, baby. That's the only time I get sentimental. That's the only time, oh, baby. I can't let go of you, yeah. Woo. That's the only time I get sentimental. I miss you day and night. Seems like you're still here. I'd rather be together, honey. Oh, now that I'm lost for words, I can't believe I'm on my own. I should have been looking at love. Now that you're gone, I want you more. I said it slapped me on my face, and then my brains don't understand, 'cause I have a chance, but I don't know why. Going crazy. It is. And I ain't the same unless I think about you. That's the only time I get sentimental, baby. That's the reason why, baby. I can't let go of you. Oh, Lord. Yeah. And I don't even think unless I think about you. That's the only time I get sentimental. Hey, baby. Oh, yeah. That's the reason why, baby, I can't let go of you. What's up, Atlanta? How you feeling? You ready to future-proof your life tonight? This isn't just a conference. It's a reminder that change starts in rooms like this one. That's right. Ooh, yeah. Whatever you want, whatever you need, anything you want done, baby, I'll do it. Oh, I'll do it naturally, 'cause I'm every woman. tell. Mix a special food with fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, then it's the day I wanna be. I'm every woman, it's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. I'm the one. Just ask me. Ooh, it shall be done. Yeah. Time for compare. Come on. Got it. Oh, yeah. You got it,
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be here sharing the same vision with y'all. It's been 30 years of this incredible work. Let's keep dancing, y'all, and celebrating. Stay on your feet. Let's dance.
Say you wanna dance, with somebody who loves me. Dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for Melody and Felicia helping me out tonight. Thank you so much. You like that? Come on. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Come on, come on, come on. Hey!
Go to work in a miniskirt and not giving you the right flirt. Always waiting for someone to make me happy, pick me up. I realize that someone is me. What you call life, that ain't only thing. No, that's a charm, that's not a song. My season now, I stand alone. Just thought that I would let you know. Sometimes you just can't control. Should I wear my hair in a ponytail? Should I dress myself up in Chanel? No, absolutely not. Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If I were in a miniskirt and I giving you right so absolutely no. Told myself I won't complain, but some things have got to change. Not gonna be a victim of all that social push and shove. Right or wrong, they just the same. My picture never ever fit that frame. What you thought, you'll never know. You can't see me with your mind closed. No, no, no. It should never fly. If I were in a miniskirt, am I giving you the right love? No, absolutely not. Now I see that life means more to me. More than fancy clothes, more than you'll ever know. All the efforts that I've heard you say make me stronger every day. And now I live my life for me. Go to work in a miniskirt. I'm not giving you the right to play. I won't compromise my point of view. Absolutely, absolutely not. Should I wear my hair in a ponytail? Get up, get up. Dress myself up in Chanel. Do I measure me by what you think? Absolutely not. If I were in a miniskirt, am I giving you the right love? Compromise my point of view. Absolutely not. Absolutely Let me hear you say. Let me hear you say. Everybody say. Absolutely not. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Give it up for all the partners who make this forum possible. Come on, show them some love. Are y'all having a good time? I'm having a blast. Sing along with me. Let me hear you say, no, no, no. You say, come on. No, no, no. Say, that's right. No, no, no. Say, no, 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 no. Say, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. God bless you. Take care. Enjoy the conference. Thank you.
This concludes our program. Thanks for joining us at opening night of the Hope Global Forums. We'll see you tomorrow morning.